Yeah.
And it goes fast. You look the same. You look good.
Well, all right. I'll take that.
And I wore my hat for you.
What's it?
Because you were. I said, this cat had a hat on. Gotcha. How's it going?
Well, things are fine.
Okay.
You know, I'm on tour. I'm reading from my book. Doing a million different things. And I guess that's good. When I was first a writer, I would, you write a book, and the editor would look at it and make some notes, and you'd make some changes, and then you get back to the others, and they'd have it for 6 months, and they'd say, well, another 6 months we're going to publish it, and all the time you're waiting, and then the book would come along, and they'd send you out on tour for 6 or 7 days. And that was it until next year. And that was it was a very uncomfortable feeling for me. I didn't know what to do, what I was doing. And, now it's different. I'm busy a lot. Too busy, my publisher tells me.
Well, you got a body of work that's extensive and huge.
I've written a lot of books.
Yeah.
Done some film work. I have a kind of a column in the Nation magazine. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of stuff.
Does it tax you to be doing so much, or do you feel that you're not doing so much? You're just doing what you do every day?
Listen, everybody works hard. I was in a hotel the other morning, and there's a young guy coming in, and he had a floor strip. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was leaving, going to someplace else, and it was 5 o'clock in the morning in Washington, D.C., and he had a floor stripper. So, like, at 5 o'clock in the morning, he was going to be stripping floors somewhere. That's hard work. I don't think it's any harder than the work that I do.
Everybody does it.
Or any less hard.
That's right. Everybody's working. Yeah. And I was reading the prep material they sent out where you're focusing in this book, The Long Fall on New York. And that's a major shift for you, right? Shifting your focus to writing about where you've lived now for 20, 30 years.
Well, it's kind of it's a shift if you look at it in the crime genre. All of my crime books have been in L.A. But R.L.'s Dream, Futureland, Diablerie, Killing Johnny Fry, quite a few books I've written have been in New York. So, yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay. And the material that I was looking at presented it as a major shift, though, in terms of
as far as crime writing is concerned. It's true. I haven't. It's the first time I have a crime, and it's not only that. It's also contemporary. All of my crime stuff before has been it's done in my parents' generation, like that. Yeah.
Okay. And so, what are you feeling about that? The either fun or joy or importance? The reason you're doing contemporary, number one, and situations New York, and how are you looking at describing the world through these books? Well,
the world has changed. When talking about my father's world and with Easy Rawlins and Paris Minton, a little bit with Socrates Fortlow, even though he's contemporary, race is a monolithic issue. Sexism is a monolithic issue. Classism is a monolithic issue. And everybody knows where they belong. Everybody knows where you belong. And there are very few people who refuse to accept those rules, and those are the people who change the world. Okay, now we're in the changed world. It's contemporary, it's modern. Race and sex and age and all the, even how much money you have, it's more fragmented. You have to redefine who you are with each new situation that you encounter, because who knows what people are thinking about you, what you're thinking about them, what the world means at any particular moment. It's very, very difficult. It's much more complex a world to navigate than, let's say, Easy Rawlins' world. Easy knew how to talk with who he talked to. Leonid has to discover that with every step of the way.
And so are you discovering, as the author and as the creator of Leonid and his experience, are you discovering as you navigate the story that you're telling? And this career, this life you've created and are creating and plan to do, 10 more books about?
Yeah, I'm always discovering. I mean, the point is that almost everything I do in writing is a discovery. At the end of Blind Faith, and like 3 pages before the end of the book, I had no idea that Easy was going to run off the side of a cliff. I had no idea. And then he ran off the side of the cliff, and I went, oh my God, he might be dead down there. And I thought, maybe I should change it and have him drive up to San Francisco and, call his girlfriend and have her come up. That doesn't sound nearly so interesting. I think I'll leave him up there or down there, dead or maybe dead. Who knows? And I think that's really true for all books that you write. There's a lot to discover about the world that we live in today, and the difference I would say is that it's not whether or not I'm discovering, but what I'm discovering in writing about this world is cogent. It's urgent. It's important today. Like, for instance, if I was talking about Easy Rawlins, and the police stopping him for being black, well, it's true, but that's not the central point for anybody, including black people in America today. We have bigger issues to worry about. Iraq, for instance, and all the poor young black men and women who joined the army because they couldn't get a job. Prison, for instance, for all the people of color, but all the poor white people too who are in prison. There's Iraq. I mean, it's like itself, as a place, not just our soldiers. It's a very difficult world. I mean, Iceland is bankrupt.
It's amazing.
They don't have any money.
That's amazing.
You can't get money out of the bank in Iceland. They're eating their horses in Iceland.
Yeah.
It is the most educated country on the face of the earth, and they're doing worse than almost anybody.
It's unimaginable that anybody white in this planet would be broke.
But
is that too simple a statement to make?
Well, it's interesting. The issue of race is changing. When a country like Iceland can go broke, and everybody lets it go broke and just ignore it, that's really amazing. That's the world I'm talking about. I'm talking about a world where Leonid McGill might have something to do with somebody from Iceland, and those issues he will have to discover what's important there.
You're opening the door then through this character and the things that you're writing for a new realm of experience and expectation for maybe your characters, but also for a lot of people. Because to me it seems like your characters embody hopes, aspirations, feelings, fears of a lot of ordinary and some special people.
And in ways they are metaphors or maybe even personifications of certain issues. For instance, Leonid McGill is a bad man. For at least 40 years, she's been committing crimes. He's been creating false information to send people to prison. He's been making it so that people are outcasts from their own societies or families or friends. He's worked for the mob. He's worked against the police. He's been a bad guy. So rather than Easy, who was a victim, you have Leonid, who's a victimizer. Now, he's realized that that he was wrong. And so now he's going to try to do what's right. So the interesting thing becomes, so he wants to turn around in midstream and go back. He said, I'm going to go back the way I came because I've been wrong. Now, this is exactly the situation that America is in today. We've done all this stuff for the last 40 years, waged wars, deregulated, exercised all kinds of sexism and racism and ageism and disenfranchised our children's education. We've done all this stuff, and all of a sudden, we've decided we want to turn around and go back. This is not an easy job.
And the question in part is, will the world let you, will the environment, will the situation allow you to do so? That's the will, that's the desire.
Yeah.
So is it doable?
There's a really good chance Leonid's going to fail. There's a really good chance we're going to fail. My books, of course, I mean, all my books are optimistic to one degree or another. So Leonid, well, we'll see.
What's the excitement in these times for you? You had some comments about, I think, President Obama, the notes again they sent out with your press material, and you made comments that you thought kind of opened some doors up. Getting elected was the most important thing he could do.
Well, my responses to Obama are very much like my